Yeah. Hey, James. Hope you guys are having a good Friday. We made it to the weekend. Hope you survived your week, Adam, with your new position. Hey, Roy. Hey, G Bud. Hey, John. Try and readjust this camera a little bit here. All right. So, some of you may have tuned in the last time I was working on this hood system. I was trying to build the Fusion 2022 hood system with those shims and brushes. Well, I spoke to some other builders, and the consensus is to ditch the shim system. So I went ahead and purchased a couple of the older style Fusion hood. And I don't know if this will show up on camera, if I can focus this or not, but you can see, maybe you can see if I can get this thing to focus. There's a spacer in the back of this. I don't know how I can try and get that to focus. You can kind of see it sitting right there. It's a round, like, axle type spacer. Well, on the new hood system, they push that spacer in front of the brush so it completes the square. This hood is actually open in the front, and they made the brushes are not as wide, the new brushes, and they have that shim that goes above or below it depending on the side. Anyway, I could never get a consistent build with that shim. The car would rev like high and low, and it was arcing, and I don't know. So recommendation was to use the old hood system with RPM 20-degree brushes, which I just got in today, and whatever spring. Some guy said use RPM springs, so I have some of them right here. These are for the Ghost Cat, actually. These are stock Fusion springs. These are a little bit on the light side. There's not a lot of tension on those. The springs I used on this I had on another car that I bought used, so I don't know where these springs came from. They're definitely heavier than those springs. So I just got done actually building this car. I'm about to put the magnets in and try it out on the dyno and see what kind of numbers I get. I will say there's a lot less filing needed for these RPMs brushes. They fit a lot better in this particular hood system. So that's a good thing. It is a lot less work not trying to put those shims in there. So anyway, so I got this thing kind of spaced out the way I want it. it's 20 degrees advanced timing. So it's a 0 timed armature, but the brushes are advanced by 20 degrees. Nah. I actually have enough parts to do 2 cars, so I'm going to build once I'm done with this one, I'm going to do another one. Yeah, 20 degrees, John. Yep. I think these were old brushes that came out of they're pretty worn down, but I think these are 10 degree, because Wizard sells 10 degree advanced brushes. The new system with the shims, the shims actually advance it by 20 degrees, apparently. So you get the 20 degree advanced if you're using the new system. Give this a little bit of oil here before we get going. All right, I've oiled the bushings. Gear mesh feels pretty good. This is actually a Viper 23 tooth. This is a spec racer class car, so this is level 4 Palmer magnets. Let's put the pickup shoes on. You know, John, I'm not really sure what would happen if you had too much timing, to be honest with you. I imagine too advanced is not good. I'm not really an expert when it comes to the advancing. I understand it as far as positioning, the way the brush is positioned on the com. It's advancing the brushes around the com, so the rotation of the is advanced, but I don't know. I'm not a mathematician. Excuse me. I just kind of go with what other experienced builders recommend. They recommended the 0 timing arm and advanced timing on the brushes, so I know those guys are good builders, so that's what I'm doing. I do the same thing with my N-Bell cars. I buy the Fusion N-Bell that has the brushes advanced in them. That feels pretty good. Hey, Snuggie. Well, fingers crossed. We'll see how this runs. Yeah, just as a reference, most of my N-Bell Fusions run up in the 430s, even 440s. So I'm hoping this at least does in the I'd love it to be in the 450s or higher. That would be awesome, but I don't know. Let's see. Let's give it a go here. That's not this could have some potential. I haven't, these brushes are not broken in, so this car might get up into the 450s. And I'm not sure which rear gear I'm going to use. That was a Wizard, that was a Viper gear. This is an RPM gear. Very similar, 430-ish to 440. I'll have to take it for some laps. Hey, Jim. This car does sound good. It sounds fast. It sounds consistent, so I like that at least. There's no fluctuation with the RPMs going up and down. So that part I'm happy with. I do like the hood system as far as being able to clean put some rubbing alcohol or isopropyl alcohol on a Q-tip and spin your axle, and you could clean that com pretty good without having to take the whole car apart. And you can kind of get an idea of what's going on with your brushes because everything's open. I would think maybe this might help aid in a little bit cooler operation as well, since it's not all enclosed. So maybe this system will run a little cooler. Not that my N-Bell Fusions run hot, to be honest with you, they don't really. So I will probably let this break in for an hour or so at the 5 volts, and we'll see how that car progresses. But pretty happy with that initial build. I did cut down one of the white caps lower because the notch where the spring holds the brush in on this side is actually lower than this side. So they recommended cutting that holder down to keep the spring pushed down a little more on the driver's side. So. And I'd like to thank everybody because I recently hit 1,500 subscribers, so pretty happy about that. I will probably do some kind of giveaway for that milestone. Figure out what I want to do. Not sure which rear end I'm just going to put this car off to the side for right now. Hopefully, crap, I lost the spacer off of that armature. I got too much. Oh, here it is. Good. Didn't lose it. I got too much stuff all over the workbench here. I do want to talk about, I built this Super 7. I had this red, white, and blue chassis that a buddy gave me. I built this with a 2.5 ohm armature. Not to jump from Fusion to this, but it's interesting because I ordered this 3.5 ohm arm from Terry and a couple of extra Super 7 motor boxes. But before I got these parts, I had a FedEx package at my door. And whenever I see a FedEx package, I usually know who it's from. It's usually from Steven Petrush, who makes those awesome rims, aluminum rims that we all love. amongst other things. He knew I was looking to get a Super 7 with a lower ohm armature. So he was nice enough. He actually sent me, he's too good to me, I gotta tell you, he's very generous. He sent me a brand new 2.5 ohm Viper modified armature and a brand new motor box for me to play around with in the Super 7. So I thought that was really cool of Steven. I really appreciate it. I hope me putting his name out there helps him get some sales to make up for all the free stuff he sends me. But he's a good guy. So I'll talk about this, my experience with building this 2.5 ohm, and then I'm going to build with one of these motor assemblies this 3.5 ohm, and we'll see. I'll talk about that more in a little bit if we have time. I think we will. These are the brushes I got from RPM for the hood. I got 5 pairs of them, so I got a couple of extra. So more than likely I'm going to give this car away as part of my giveaway once I'm sure it runs good with whichever motor, either the 2.5 or 3.5. Although I should keep it, but I'll probably give it away. I just got these level 10 magnets today. I put a little bit stronger magnets in it with this stronger armature. This car acts a little weird on the dyno. Personally, I don't think these stock ceramic magnets are strong enough to fully power this 2.5 ohm armature. And the way it runs on the dyno kind of makes me think that, because it kind of fluctuates. But on the track, this thing is pretty darn fast. I took it for some laps, so I'm curious if I build a little bit lower on higher ohm, the 3.5 ohm rather than the 2.5 ohm, if maybe these magnets will be a little bit better, can supply the power needed to. I don't think these magnets are really supplying enough magnetic force to really run that 2.5 ohm arm. I don't think it was really intended to put anything lower than a 6 ohm armature in that motor box with those stock ceramic magnets, but that's just me. I could be wrong. Hey, Sean. Oh, did I miss anybody? Hey, Rob. Hey, Rick. I'll assign a number. What number? I guess I missed something. Oh, for your give. I saw, Snuggie, that you reached 100 subscribers. Congratulations on that. Did anyone see Blue Ovals Racing today? Yeah, I did see that, G-Bud. Actually, I bought some of those bulkheads with the bushings already in them from, I think it was off eBay. I had a heck of a time with them, though. They made the armature too tight for me, at least the arm I was trying to use, but yeah, that Joe Blue Oval, he cracks me up. His videos, he makes me laugh. But yeah, definitely, that's a good upgrade to get some brass or copper bushings in there rather than just the plastic bulkhead. I always thought it was disappointing that Tyco designed that 4.4x2 without a real bushing in it. So kind of the one real drawback of that chassis. I'm stuck. Hold on a minute. Speaking of Tycos, I got a couple of 4.4x2s right here and some level 8 traction magnets. I have 2 other chassis as well that are stock. I want to build an IROC set with the 4.4x2, so I'm going to be researching what tires to use. Probably going to replace the pickup shoes with the full contact ones and use the dual springs. I'm going to leave the armature and the motor magnets stock. I'm not looking for a super speedy car, but I think it'll be a fun IROC set. So at some point I'll do a live on messing around with those Tycos. It's been a while since I've subjected myself to that kind of torture, so you guys know those are, well, a lot of you guys might know those are not my favorite chassis to work on by any means, but level 6 in this car with the 2.5 ohm, and it needs the level 10 with the stronger armature. Yeah, I think it will be. I'll have to look for some bodies, some IROC bodies to put on the Tyco wide pan. If anybody has any suggestions on some place I can get some cheap red, white, blue, and yellow bodies for Tyco wide pan that would make good IROC bodies, let me know. All right, so what the heck happened to my, oh, here's my bulkhead right here. All right, my hood system. So I'm going to attempt to build another one of these live on camera, which is probably not the best thing to do, but I'm going to do it. I did kind of size these brushes, like this one I know slides in pretty good. Let me go ahead and put my arm in here. So you can see these brushes have a nice notch in them that the spring is supposed to go in. I think I'm gonna, oops. I think I'm gonna use these stock springs just to see. These are the weakest tension spring I have. These are actually Wizard light. So let me put this on here. I need my end cap. Hopefully I don't make it go flying. I can't tell you. I think I've lost at least 3 of these little white caps that in my garage. I haven't found any of them. Fortunately, I bought a bunch. Ah, crap. I put the wrong spring on. Of course. These brushes are a little bit on the big side. I don't know if you can, probably need to get more light up in here. Probably should put a little bit of a bend so that sits, right now it's just kind of shooting out the side, that spring, it's not sitting in that slot. I'm going to put a little angle on this spring, so bear with me a minute. Tell you what, I need to get one of those super magnifying things with the light that you put on your head, because so I put a little angle there to to get this to go in that slot on the brush. Yeah, my eyes are kind of shot for close-up stuff. Mid and far away, I'm still pretty good, all things considered. But you guys know how it goes with the reading stuff. All right, so that's in there. And what you want to happen is when you move this back and forth, you want to see the brush go back and forth, which that is. And my bend was pretty good, so I got the spring right in that slot there. Now I got to do the same thing for the other side. Slot Car Central has a slew. Okay, cool, Rob. I will check out. I always forget about Slot Car Central. No, you can't use the clips on the life light on the wide pan. There are no clips for the wide. You can use a wide pan clip on like a Viper to make it a wide pan, but my chassis is already a wide pan, Snuggie. So, if you get what I mean. All right, so this has got to go. I always forget which way these springs only go on one certain way, and it's actually like this. So I'm going to put a similar little bend in this spring. Okay, I think that's pretty good. Oh, you know what would help? It would help if I put the brush in there on that side. So on the driver's side, the leading edge of the brush goes down. On this passenger side, the leading edge goes up. If you don't put the brushes in right, the car's not going to run good. So this goes in with the longer edge on the top of the curve up on this side of the car. All right, that brush is in. Put the spring. I have a feeling I'm going to be redoing this car because I think these springs are just a little bit too light in the tension, but we'll see. We shall see. So I got that in there. Now I got to drag this end of the spring and wrap it around that post. All right. So that's in. Brushes are moving back and forth freely, pretty good. Question is there enough tension to get the power I want? We're about to find out. So Rob, the clips I use, like this one, this is gonna have a red, white, and blue Lexan body from J Jap. They'll be here on Monday. The same body that's on Adam's Captain America that I sent him.
Hi.
Hi.
Do you want to help me park, or just should I leave it for right now? Oh, okay.
I'll be right there. Yeah, sorry. My wife just got home, stopped in to say hi. This clip is from Pork Chop Custom. You can buy these from him. They're a few bucks each. You could reach out to him on Facebook Messenger, I believe. I think, oh geez, I don't have Steve, I think is his name. Someone knows on here. No, Hardin Creek does not sell the Lexan body clip. I spoke to Terry about that. He doesn't want to pay for the tooling to make yet another clip. So he does not have Lexan body clip. The Viper doesn't have one either. Pork Chop's the only one I know, and I think there are some cheaper knockoffs on eBay. But Pork Chops is nice and flexible. It's printed well. It's a good fit. The holes line up properly. You know, that's where I got this yellow work mat. Anyway, all right. So we have our brushes in. All right, cool, Ron. We put our motor. This is the same level 4 as the other car I built. I'm going to use this opaque chassis for right now. Line this all up. Snap this in. There's a little bit more play in there than I would like. I'll probably have to put another little bit bigger spacer in there. But we'll see. All right, let's put these traction magnets in. What I also like about the hood brushes is they're big. They last for a long time. They're bigger than the ones in the N-Bell. The N-Bell ones last for quite a while too, though, so don't get me wrong, but I'm just hoping I could figure out a method to get a consistent build with these with this hood system, because if I can't consistently do better than 430, 440, I don't know that it's worth it to do all this work, because all of my end bell cars, without any effort, I just put a brand new Fusion end bell, which already comes broken in and advanced and tweaked. Very little tweaking needs to be done, if any, on a Fusion end bell. I could build that car in literally 5 minutes, and it hits 330, 340 almost every time with a Wizard end bell armature, hot stock armature. So, but I know this system can get up in the. I have one that runs in the 470s, 480s. That one I bought used. That's kind of my gold standard. I'm trying to reach that level with my builds. We'll see. But I will admit I do have fun building them, so. It's like therapy for me, building these things. Even though I complain about the hood system taking too long and being difficult. All right, she's all together. All right, actually, let's give this a little bit of oil as well. Yeah, that's not good. I can tell by how slow it's going in the low mode that this is not going to be good. Yeah. There's just not enough tension on those light springs from Wizard. Kind of had a feeling that was going to be the case, but I wanted to try them. I'm going to put the RPM springs and see how those go. All right. So these springs, which are much thicker, these are actually for the Ghost Cat, but people have told me that I had to cut them down. They were too long on one side. Oh no. Oh, it went flying, but it went right there, thankfully. Really didn't want to have to get down on the floor and try and find a spring. Well, G Bud, if that's the case, then I might just have to have you paint something for me because I really don't want to paint anything. I am not a painter. Don't really want to be a painter. But thankfully, we got guys like you. All right, so I got that spring. Definitely tighter spring. I gotta do the same one other side and we'll slap the magnets back in. I'm definitely getting quicker at doing this. Yeah, if you don't like to do like trial and error and try different things, then this hood system might not be for you. But I think if you can settle on one particular setup that works for you, it might not be too bad in the long run. You know how it is. You do the work, initial work up front is a lot of work, but hopefully if I can. Oh man, I almost lost another white cap. If I can get a combination of brushes and springs, and I actually ordered 2 other types of springs from RPMs, but Roger sent me pickup shoe springs. He's like, oh, I was wondering whose springs these were, so he's gonna send them out to me. He has these springs that are not bent and they're longer. And he has them in 009 and 10, 010. So you could play around with them and put your own bends in them. I was a little disappointed I didn't get those today because. All right. That looks pretty good. Brushes are not binding. They're moving pretty good. I've also realized that sitting on this stool at this little workbench is killing my back. I had to come up with something a little more comfortable. Alright, that is together. Hopefully this will at least get up into the 4s. We'll see. Alright. Gear mesh feels pretty good. Dang it. I just sent that spring somewhere. Lord knows where. Oh, there it is. Woo, right on the edge of the table. It almost went on the floor. It was almost a goner. I bet if I really took the time to look under my workbench and stuff, I'd probably find enough parts to fill up my parts bin. Yeah, Mike, it is, but you know, within reason. You don't want it to get to the point where you get like discouraged. All right, this car is built. Let's see what it does with these springs. Well, it's up in the 8s now. That's better. Yeah, that's definitely better. That's on par with the other car. Let's see this other rear axle. Isn't any better. So close. I really want to get up in the 450s. Now these brushes are not broken in at all, so tonight I'll let them run for an hour or so and break them in, see if that gains me some additional RPMs or power. I'm gonna try a different rear axle from one of my other cars. Definitely sounds good. Sounds fast. This is my main spec racer. This is an Endel car. I notice this car takes a little bit of time to kind of rev up, but it eventually gets up in the 440s. I don't know. I'm pretty happy with, I mean, 430. Both of these are 430. That's a respectable number. Hey, Rick. Give me a call this weekend, Rick, if you think about it. I've been thinking about you. Hope everything's going okay. Now I'm going to try not to smack the wall. I'm going to put this rear axle in this one, and just for the heck of it, I'm going to put this like the way this car runs. I'll have to run some laps with this car, see what kind of lap times I get. Break that in a little more. Let's see how this thing looks on my setup block. Sitting nice and level. A little bit of space there with 412. 414 is going to be probably riding the rails just about. Yeah, that's kind of perfect. That's right where I want it for my track anyway. So I like where that car is sitting. Oh, okay, Rick. Yeah, whenever you get some time. I don't want to bother you, but all right. What do you guys think? You want to play around with that Super 7 a little bit? Or do you want me to run some laps with these cars? I'd like to play with that Super 7, but I wouldn't mind standing up for a few minutes either. I'm being hunched over for too long. Rick. Rick has had some good crashes here, no doubt about it. Some hard crashes. I will be right back. Give me 2 minutes. Was there not enough room to pull your car up?
I needed you to kind of just, you know. Yep, some weight to Rachel. They color her hair. So I got different color reds. Here, we'll show you them. Not the wigs, but the color.
Stand up, my back's killing me from hunching over. Hey Google, turn on the racetrack. All right. So let's take a look at this Super 7. I'm gonna put these fusions off to the side for now. Ow. That was my knee. All right. So as I had mentioned earlier, I'm going to take this apart. Oh wait, before I do that, I'll show you guys what I mean with this car and how it's running on the dyno. It's definitely pretty fast. Though for a 2.5 ohm armature, I've seen much higher numbers on my dyno from 2.5 ohm cars up in the fives. What was I gonna do? So just by comparison, this is a stock HC slot Super 7 GTS, the one with the balanced 6 ohm arm. It's almost hitting 4. There it goes. It's a pretty good running car, actually. This is my box stock Super 7 non-balanced arm car. Also up in the high threes. So, this 2.5 ohm is definitely faster than both those cars. I'll have to do some lap times. Yeah, I always try to justify, is it worth putting a 2.5 ohm arm in this motor box? How much improvement is it going to get you, over the stock motor? But I'm going to leave that car the way it is for right now. And we'll play around with this 3.5 ohm. This is oh, I see it actually. They took some material off right there. I guess that's how they balance it. Yeah. They took some material off right there because this is a balanced arm. It's not epoxied, but it is balanced. But it wasn't very expensive. It was under $10 for that arm. So. Now, one thing you have to do, you do need to bend these tabs on this end bell. So I'm going to go ahead and attempt to do that. I did it okay on I had to do it on that other one that Steven sent me. But I bend this down and slide it into that channel on the side. Kind of like that. I'm just using the tweezer and bending it over and folding it down in there. Obviously, you don't want to bend it too tight. You don't want to break the tab off, obviously. That would not be good. So, kind of be careful with your bends. That looks pretty good. Pretty happy with that. These have some decent sized brushes in them. use a little tweak on this top. Okay. Looks pretty good. So I'm going to take the, well, let me look. Brushes sit. This has a 10 thousandths and a 5 thousandths Teflon spacers. I'm going to take the 5 thousandths Teflon off and put a 5 thousandths metal spacer on there. I think I'm running a little bit low on my 5,000 spacers, but next time I order parts, I gotta get some. All right. All right. One thing I had to do with the other armature, this pressed on spacer here was making the armature too tight. I had to press it in a little bit further. I used my tire press and actually pushed that in to give me a little bit more space. Let's see how this one looks. This one's a little snug as well. Not hardly any play there. Back and forth, so that's one of the biggest challenges with putting an armature in here. So I am going to do the same thing to this arm. I'm going to press that in a little bit. go too far, obviously. I could try and take off this 10 thousandths spacer here and put the 5 thousandths on. That would move the arm up a little bit. Let me see if I could push that up a tiny, tiny bit. Gonna put a heavier duty spacer, a 20,000 spacer on the front here, just so that it, oh actually I don't need to do that, I forgot. So I'm putting this in my press and I'm just gonna very gently tighten this down a little bit to try and move that. Definitely don't want to cut through that. You can see that I kind of squished the Teflon. Don't want to cut through that Teflon spacer and short out the windings. That would be bad. So if it goes up in smoke, we know that's what I did. And then I'll be sad. Okay, that's giving us just about, not even 5,000. It's a little bit snugger than I would like, but there is space there. It's about 3 thousandths. If the motor gets too hot, I could remove that 10 thousandths and put a 5 thousandths in the top. It's going to move where the brushes hit a little bit, but it would probably still be okay. Actually, I might do that. I don't really want to press this any further. Actually, maybe what I'll do is I could put a 3 thousandths spacer instead of 5 on the top. Hey, Jeff Streams, thanks for, oh, sorry, hitting the camera again. Oh, I just hit the camera again. Sorry. All right, let's see. What this does for us. Yeah, that's better. All right, I like that. And I'm just gonna pinch these tabs a little bit with some pliers. You don't want to pinch them too tight, but you know, just pinch these in. Looks pretty good. Well, I don't have another Super 7 chassis, so I'm going to have to pull out this 2.5 ohm one that I built. I also pinned the rear axle on this. It is nice and easy to get these out, literally pop it out. I guess I need a pinion gear, so hold on a second. Okay, standard 7-tooth pinion gear. I think that's a Viper pinion gear, to be honest with you. Not really sure. That might even be semi-used. Looked like there was a tiny little bit of wear on. It's not horrible. So again, you want to put the white magnet. If the front of the car is facing your left, put the white magnet on top. Again, make sure you clear those tabs on the end bell. You don't want to shear those off. All right, she is in. Put our magnets in high downforce mode, so the side that sticks to the motor magnet, the surface of the magnet that touches the rail, put that on that side. Oh, you know what? Hold on a minute. Whoa. What was that? I think I just lost the rear axle. Fell on the floor. I gotta give this some oil. Ear mesh feels pretty good. Alright, we're gonna pick up shoes on. We gave it a little oil. Let's see what this thing does on the dyno. I guess in theory it should be slower than the 2.5 ohm arm since it's not as low a ohm. No, it does. It has the same. It's just a shorter magnet. It's not as long, but it has the same cutouts on either side. $440. Fluctuating a little bit. Let's take this for some laps. What do you think? And I could take that Fusion for a few laps as well. And then if you want, I could pop this 2.5 ohm motor box. I guess I need to get another Super 7 chassis. Not really sure what you mean, because this is a Viper magnet. It's the same. It's just got the notch along each side. The Super 7 is the same exact way. It's just a shorter magnet, so not as much surface area. Same magnet design though. Alright, let's go over to the... Oh, I guess I need to find a body I could put on this. guess this is not the most aerodynamic body, but I'm going to use this NASCAR body. This is off of my Super 7 IROC set, so at least I know it fits a Super 7 properly. All right, go over to the track, run a few laps, and then I'm gonna close it up for the night because I'm getting tired. But tune in tomorrow because I got some guys coming over to do some racing tomorrow morning. Actually, there might actually be 5 or 6 of us here tomorrow. A couple of new guys. So usual time. Between 10 and 11. Oh. All right. And then I'll run some laps with the Fusion that I just built with the hood system. 2.7 seconds, that's pretty good. 2.6 seconds. 0.63. Woo! Handle's pretty good too. Doesn't feel like it's getting too hot either. Actually, let me get my heat gun. I'll run about 10 laps. We'll take a temperature. Ah. Not too bad, 130. That's about right for these cars. Super 7 does run a little on the warm side. As long as it doesn't go up much past 130, that's fine. Let's see what this Fusion can do. .5 seconds. So there's a 6 ohm, a 5.8 ohm car, just because of how it's designed as a race car, really low center of gravity, outperforming a 3.5 ohm car. .46. I'm liking this car. Right. That's some good numbers. Really cool. 103 degrees. Nice. I am liking that a lot. This might be my new #1 spec racer. It's handling perfect. Yeah. car. Good car. I like it. Like that a lot. The little step in the front. You're killing me. You're killing me, Rob. I'm not seeing what you're talking about. Now I gotta look again. The little step. I'm not sure what you mean by a little step on this Viper magnet. All it's got is a step along each side. You mean that little step on? I guess there is a tiny little notch right there on each side. Is that what you're talking about? The two notches on either? Oh, well, I'll be a son of a gun. You know, I never even noticed that, Rob. I stand corrected. Maybe I've been putting my magnets in wrong the whole time. I have to look at that now. Hold on. Let me get a Viper. I guess I'm so used to using the max traction ones that only go in one way that I never ah crap. I just dropped my magnet. I probably chipped it. So wait a minute. How does this, so this going in high down for us. Oh, I see. There's a little lip right here. No wonder why it goes in easy one. You know, I always just futz with it till it slides in, but that makes so much sense now. Wow, see, even I learned something. Thank you. That will definitely make it easier to put these things. I always wonder, like, why the heck is this thing not going in? I turn it around until it goes in, but it's because there is a little ledge right there. And as Rob pointed out, there is a little notch on just that one side. See? You think you know everything. Rob's got to make me look bad. But thank you for that little bit of information. It's helpful. Let me put my other magnets back in. Oh, there's even a little step on the max traction ones, but they only go in one way because of that V. I don't know if the now I got to look at the Super 7. Hold on, I'll do that. What did I do with the clip for this? Do you know how many Vipers I have, and I never noticed that? I always wondered why is this magnet going in right? And then I keep putting it back and forth till I eventually get it the right way. So this car was pretty fast, this Super 7 with the, I don't have any Super 7s that do 2.6 seconds, I could tell you that. So that's pretty cool. Yes, it would you really can't put it in wrong. You'd have to force it. I mean, I do know like when I put those magnets in and they don't go in right, I just turn it until it slides in right. But now I see why, because there is that little notch. I guess you could try and force it in, but yeah, you would definitely misshape the chassis. Oh, so this has a lip on both sides. It has the little step on both sides, so I guess it really doesn't matter which way you put it in. And there's a little notch on both sides. So this one has a little notch on that side and that side to hold it in. Interesting. Good to know. Good to know. Yeah, I kind of like this. I'm gonna have to get another Super 7 chassis so I could put this. Tomorrow when I go live, I'll swap these motor boxes. What did I say I did? I think I did 2.6 something with this 3.5 ohm. We'll see what kind of speeds I can get with this 2.5 ohm box. I would assume just as good, if not a little bit better. But cool. And I have an extra, oh, actually I need this. I broke one of these side tabs off on one of my other Super 7s because I was taking it apart too many times. Well, I appreciate that, Roger. All right, I've been on for an hour and 35 minutes. I'm really pretty happy with how that Fusion is running, that one I built. This car, the one that was in like the 440s. This car is pretty fast. I was down in the 2.4 second range, so that's pretty cool. That's better than my MBell car. It's similar. My MBell car, I think I could hit 2.4 if I really tried, 2.5s, but to know that car is running just as good, if not a little bit better. And I think that car is just going to get stronger as the brushes break in. So, yeah, good stuff. All right. Sounds good, Snuggy. Have a good night. All right, guys, I appreciate everybody hanging out with me on a Friday evening here. I am going to close up shop for tonight, clean up. I did just clean my track a little while ago to get it ready for tomorrow before I came on live. I just got done cleaning it, so I got a nice clean track. And hopefully we'll chat with some of you guys tomorrow if you tune in. Be about 10:30 Eastern time. And we usually race till 12:30ish. Then we break for lunch. Then we come back and race for another couple of hours, usually till like 3:30ish. So, all right. Hopefully we'll see some of you guys tomorrow. Have a good evening. Thanks, guys. Hey, Carl. All right. Have a good night, guys.